So I'm now recording.
Okay, awesome.
So we each had 4 questions.
Yeah.
We actually did 1 question more. We were very.
Okay.
We did the question, what are the common ways of suicide?
What other questions?
Oh,
That's good. Like, okay, yeah.
Because I think it's very different from you guys.
What did you guys find?
I
haven't.
Well, I think we can just start with our first question.
Sure.
What are the major reasons for suicide in adolescence? Well, we had a couple. The first really big reason is depression. That's like half of all the causes in our country. Fights with parents, really big. The loss of a family member. A medical issue. Hoe zeg je dat?
Welke?
Iets zo. Come on.
Welke?
I don't really know how to pronounce it.
Oh, schizophrenia?
Yeah.
There you go. Sorry. I had a mental health rotation, so we saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Borderline. And like traumatic experience from the past. I think like war or that sort. That's pretty much it with our big major reasons for suicide for adolescents.
Yeah.
What do you guys have with that?
So we found that like among the youth, the most common like reasons are depression, and then our second is substance abuse, loss of a family member or friend to suicide, access to firearms, and being female are associated with suicide. Another thing we found is like being exposed to violence, living in like a violent neighborhood can also increase your risk of suicide. What else we got? Drug use, and then we have like history of mental health treatment was also a factor for us too. So yeah.
I think it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Did you guys mention like substance abuse?
Not really. I think it's
different.
Yeah. We don't have really a lot of drug issues. Yeah, we like some drugs are legalized here. But those are not really the drugs that are really bad for you.
Right.
Some drugs where you get a little. Well, let's skip that. Yeah, you also mentioned like access to firearms. Well,
yep.
Here we don't have access to firearms, so that's very different.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's very the same, except for like firearms.
Firearms and substance abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our second question was, what support systems are available for family post-suicide? We have a really big organization called Victim Help Netherlands. This organization helps victims for all kinds of incidents, like suicide. They offer a lot of different types of help. Being able to talk to someone, like a therapist, or like really normal person who just I can't get the word. Like doesn't get paid for that, so someone who just gets there to talk to people. They can also offer like legal help for someone who is in debt or other problems financially. You can also get in touch with other victims who have been through the same, who have experienced in your life. So that will typically help some people. There's also special help for little children who have experienced suicide in the family, or lost a family member or in another way.
Right.
All this help is really focusing on to get to live a normal life. So it's very steady. It also they have a website and they give a lot of information for people who think about suicide or have experienced something with suicide. So that's a really good website, and it's really big in the Netherlands. So
That's really cool.
yeah.
For our support, we have several like that as well that I found. So we have our National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's like a texting line. You text it if you feel like you're in a crisis kind of situation or thinking about it, and people will kind of text back at you. And then also the crisis text line, so that's another one. Similar to what you have, I found one called reachout.com. And then there's like articles and discussion posts from people who are struggling with the same things. And then I thought that it was really interesting that it's helpful, gives assistance to the kids, but there's also resources to parents and schools to try and like bring awareness and kind of teach, I guess, on prevention and stuff like that in those settings, which I thought was kind of cool.
That's more of like the educational resources.
Right. Yeah.
That's our next question.
Oh, oops.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. I was doing the wrong one.
So anyways, our educational resource.
There's that too. Wait, which one else?
This one is the one you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Strengthofus.org is, again, kind of a similar thing, like discussions, and there's like podcasts and stuff with that too. And then they also had a lot more other links to like other ones. Pretty cool, I guess.
I don't know. I guess, yeah, those are more of like our educational resources that we have here. I don't think there's like classes that talk about it really here compared to like, I don't know if you guys have like educational classes in your curriculum that talk about it, but we don't.
Not really, no.
No.
Yeah. And my dad actually is a teacher. He's been a teacher for a long time. And so I was asking him, I was like, what kind of things like do we have set up for teachers to be able to like, assess or like recognize symptoms in students, or like training for teachers? And he says that we really don't have anything for support in that way to educate our teachers and stuff, which is unfortunate because obviously that's where kids spend a lot of their days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of it falls on like the school nurse to like look at kids. But if the kid doesn't come down to the nurse, like there's no way to get help either.
Yeah, that's hard. Oh, we don't really have like classes here, but I think the teachers do get some guideline how to recognize sites. Um, Shannon, wil jij die?
The derde?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the question about educational resources. I found a lot of websites and also a website called Suicide Prevention, and that's also a number that you can call or chat with people. 113 is the number, and yeah, you can call or chat anonymously with professionals and talk about your own thoughts, but also if you're concerned about other people in your environment. And on the internet, you can do some tests about your depression level or anxiety disorder or suicidal thoughts. And then you get, yes, uitslag. Max,
Oh,
hoe
wat?
zeg je het dan?
Wat?
And then you just get a list of things from you need to find help or that kind of things. And also I found Suicide Prevention Gatekeeper, and that is that's a training for people to recognize the signals of suicide, and also that it can be discussed. Yes, and gatekeeper is people who can play a key role in guiding people with suicidal thoughts for professional help. And then I found another website, Lentis Suicide Prevention. It's all about suicide prevention. It's very it's almost the same as the other things.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay.
So
I guess I can jump back and talk about our help systems.
Sorry, I jumped the gun on that.
Yeah, so she talked about the educational part. So,
Although to tack on to what you said too, is we do have some mental health training too that I didn't actually include, but I can. We took a mental health class. I don't remember what it was called, but we can think of it and put it in ours. Because we have some good training systems too, where you can recognize the signs and symptoms, and then like who to contact and how to help them and stuff. And actually, on our campus, some of our nursing students actually started a group called You Matter, and in America, other colleges have started what's called the Green Bandana Project. So where, like, if you put that on your backpack, it kind of shows that you are open to talk if someone's having a problem and to give them resources and stuff. So that's kind of cool. That hit big in a couple different schools, not necessarily so much in ours right now, but in Minnesota and Wisconsin, they're just different things. That worked really well on their campus a lot too. So that's kind of cool.
I don't think people will do that in the Netherlands.
No?
No, I think it's seen as weird
Oh,
in
sure.
the Netherlands if you do that.
right.
And that's kind of too what we're trying to,
Stigma.
yeah, we're trying to help with the people who make it feel like it weird. We're trying to help them feel like it's okay to come talk to us. We're okay. We're not going to judge you for it. We're not going to think that you're weird.
yeah. Well, in the Netherlands, it's not really. You can talk about it, but if you really have like you guys, like a bandana, or like you can talk to us right now. I don't think in the Netherlands it will work.
No.
I don't think people will use it.
No, I think they are too scared to like just jump to someone and say, "Oh, hey, can we talk about this?" Or I think that's not really how it works in our country.
And I think that's the problem with in our school when we tried to do it is I don't know if really a lot of people knew what we were doing, and so they didn't really use it. I don't think a whole ton. I have never had anyone come up to me.
Me neither.
And I carry the resource cards on me.
Okay. Our last question: what biases are present in the community?
Yes, can you do the question first, because I don't know if I did it good.
Oh, for which one?
For
And
the
let's
biases.
the biases.
Our last question. Oh yeah, what biases do we have?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I did it right either. So I just have to read back my notes because I did this last week, so I'm trying to
Yeah.
so it was kind of, I guess, talking a little bit about that stigma again, you know, kind of like that weird feeling that people have. And so I talked a little bit about how there's the social stigma with negative attitudes and discriminating behavior like towards others with mental health problems. But then also, so that's like when other people are actively like, weird, why are you talking about this? Or like,
Yeah.
and then how some people then kind of have like a perceived stigma is what it is found that it was called. Like that's kind of where they feel as though everyone will be against them, or like everyone will think that they're weird, even if other people won't. That they kind of feel that. So in that way, people are afraid to disclose that they have mental health problems, and that because they fear that they're going to be treated differently. Yeah. And then because of that, then they, you know, try to seek escape from some of those issues with like suicide and things.
Mm-hmm.
With either suicide or then too, then they kind of become addicted to other things to try and help take their mind off of, I guess, their other problems.
Yeah. Was that it, or?
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had.
Shannon wel.
Ja, hoe zeg je vooroordelen in het Engels?
Ja, biases.
Yeah?
Ja, volgens mij.
Okay, wait 1 second.
Yeah, it's the bias.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just I described some citaten. Citaat, yeah. A suicide attempt means that the person in case wants to die. It's just things people think about the person, but that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And research shows that in a lot of the cases, suicide actually the person don't want to die, and he or she often doesn't see the possibility to go on the current way, and the desire for a different life is often stronger than the desire to die.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some people might think that people who talk about their suicidal thoughts, they won't make it a reality. And that's also not true. The vast majority of the people who have died by suicide have given signals to the environment. And also talk about suicidal thoughts is an important signal that shows that things aren't really going very well. And a suicide is an impulsive action, and a suicidal person goes through a whole process from thought to act that takes on average 2.5 years. So it's not an impulsive action. And a suicidal attempt is a cry for attention. That's not true, because a suicide attempt is always a pain cry and a signal that things aren't going very well. That's what I found. I don't know if it didn't help, but...
Right, and actually, looking at yours too, I think what I'm going to do is, for our question, is look up some of the myths, I guess, is what that people have of it in America. I think that would match your information really well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can do that.
So
Yeah.
we got one more question, just for fun.
Oh yeah.
We had a question for what are the common ways of suicide.
Hmm.
Like 44%, like the big way is for strangling or hanging.
Yeah.
And I think this way is very different from you. Like 25% of the people choose to jump in front of a train.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really big with us. Like, I think almost every month someone jumps in front of the train, and all the trains are stopped. And we travel to school with trains, so it's
Sure.
yeah. I think
It's a
like
bit-
the train is our main way of transport in the Netherlands.
Right.
So
Whole country.
yeah,
Interesting. We
Yeah.
have like metro trains, but we don't have like trains.
We have freight train.
Okay, yeah, plenty of probably. Not like subway. Well, I guess we have subways.
It has to be in a big city.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't know our rates on that. Well,
12% chooses to jump off a height, so like from a building.
Mm-hmm.
And 8% chooses medical overdose or alcohol.
I think ours would be higher on that.
Yeah, I think ours is going to vary. I think we're going to definitely be higher on the medical overdose. I've seen a lot of patients come in taking a whole bottle of pills. Like, that's pretty frequent for us.
We had a really bad one the other day, actually.
So we'll look that up quick while we put everything in.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling it's going to be drug overdose.
Will probably be one of our top ones, or I'd say gunshot.
Yeah, I would say gun. We definitely have a lot of people kill themselves by shooting themselves. In high school, I had a kid do that. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, because you said that that's not really an issue for you guys. Do like a lot of people in the Netherlands like own guns at all, or not really?
No, guns are illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you can really not own a gun. And it's some people say it's very easy to get a gun, but I don't think it's that easy. Like, our borders are really very good secured. And
Right.
I think it's very hard to get a gun in the Netherlands. It's not really easy.
Sure.
Yeah, or you have to steal from police or something, but yeah.
So do you guys have hunting there?
Like as a sport?
I don't really know, actually. I think
I
we
don't
do.
think there are much places in the Netherlands where you can do hunting.
No.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, Netherlands is mostly like built, so we don't really have big forest you can hunt in, or
Sure.
Right.
yeah.
That's interesting. Just because, I mean, we both live in smaller country towns, so like it's really big for a lot of the people out in the country typically to enjoy like hunting deer,
and turkeys and stuff.
pheasants.
Yeah. Oh, we don't really have that here.
And see, I think that would be the problem. I don't think there's a way that we could legalize owning a gun. But I think it might be harder too with how large America is. There's no way they could regulate that.
And the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we are finished with this meeting.
Yeah. And then if you guys want to, we can take like a quick little break and we'll put all of our information.
Yeah. That will be
1
great.
minute, probably.
Yeah.
It's okay.
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 I'll stop the recording right now.